So, how we doing today? My name is Spectrum Dominus, and today we are sorting cards for grading purposes. Continuing on with our 1991 Upper Deck sorting. If you've been following the channel, if you've been following this series, and I use that term loosely, there are over 100 episodes of sorting cards for grading purposes, where it's more, I'm just hanging out, sorting my cards, figuring stuff out, which cards need to go into my PC, which cards need to get sent to PSA, which cards are just going to get what we call thrown away, but what really is happening is they're getting sorted into team sets, which I sell 100 cards for $1 from this team, if anyone wants them. But we're sorting everything I have, everything I had in the past into those things so we know where everything goes. I was so disorganized. Well, it wasn't that I was disorganized in the past. It was that I was a set collector when I was younger. And that's a silly way to be nowadays. So maybe one day when I'm a billionaire, I can get back to set collecting. That would be awesome. But that's not, I don't have the room to set collect or the money to set collect. So because that's not going to happen, we are going to collect the stuff that we want to collect. And to do that, we're going through all these old sets, including the factory sets. So we have this 1991 Upper Deck set. We opened up the box, it was sealed, and we split it into about 4 equal parts so that it wasn't too long of videos. And we have done 2 of those, so half of the set. And we have 2 more sets of about approximately 200 cards. We're going to do one today, and then the last one we'll do in 3 videos or so, just to keep things different and fresh. We don't want to be watching the same video over and over and over and over again. So I'm going to grab a handful here, switch to our camera so you can see the cards, and I will be basically flipping through the cards and telling you where each card settles in my personal sorting of these cards. So like these ones, when I just read it off like this, Kevin Brown, these are just going into those team sets, the garbage, as we say. Roberto Kelly, and it's not necessarily garbage. Trust me, it's not garbage because anytime there's a double, I mean, I have Nolan Ryan and then I pull another Nolan Ryan. The Nolan Ryan goes in there because I only need one. So, but it's just a fun way to say it. Bobby Witt. Now, there's a Bobby Witt Jr. This is not the guy. I wonder if this is his dad. I don't know that, actually. I wonder. That's interesting. Tim Raines is one of those guys that are first off my list. Romeo Cormier, Wilson Alvarez, Eric Hansen. Carlton Fisk, however, is one of my guys. So we're going to do is normally we'll sleeve them up. I'm going to do that off screen later. So we're just going to make a pile for today to speed this video along. Joe Hesketh, Heathcliff Solcombe, Rich Rodriguez, Tommy Green, Jose Melendez, Darren Lewis, Andy Mota, Paul McClellan, Ray Sanchez, Scott Service, Chris James. Let's flip these back over if they're going to be. All right. Chris James, Oil Can Boyd, Glenn Allen Hill, Mark Gardner, Bernie Williams, Bo Jackson. Now that's one that isn't just going, it is going in my collection, but because it's Bo is one of those people that every card of Bo's is considered gradable as long as it's in condition to be graded. So we stick that over there and we'll put it in the rotation to be graded. It probably won't be graded anytime soon. We have 2 Bo's going with the current one. We have a 1987 rated rookie Bo and a 1988 Fleer Bo are going with this PSA. But that one won't be going right now. Tino Martinez, Jack McDowell, both guys I like, but I want their rookies. I don't want these later in their career cards. Bernard Gilkey, Alfredo Griffin, Dan Pasqua, Bill Doran, Ken Caminiti. He's not a rookie there. Oh, this is 91, of course not. Randy Myers, Frank Viola, Jeff Bagwell. Now this is 1990. I said 91. This is 1992. His rookie is in 1991. I have a couple of his rookies graded. I have them graded at Nope, what's the name of it? Next level grades, NLG, is what we had it graded at. But it came back like 7.5s. They weren't, they didn't grade out great, and they're at a company that's a defunct company. So I want to get some more of those 91s and get them sent in and try to get a better grade on them. Tony Gwynn, that's one of my guys. We're going to keep the Tony Gwynn. Alan Trammell. The Jeff Bagwell's thing too. I forgot that. I started talking, didn't actually say that. So far 3 cards. The Trammell, the Bagwell, and the Carlton Fisk. Alan Trammell and Tony Fernandez are 2 of the guys that are slightly out of my collection. Pete Incavilla, one of those mid-carders I always talk about. Jose Uribe, Dick Schofield, Mike Benjamin, Gary Carter, right outside of my collecting list. Kevin Mitchell, Eddie Murray, right inside of my collecting list. He's one of the last people before I cut off the list. If you don't understand what I mean, feel free to ask in the comments or go and see previous videos. I've explained it quite a few times by now. But Alex Fernandez, got Dan Plesac, Dave Smith, Dave West, Dave Stewart, a lot of Daves. David Justice, he's not in my list, and sometimes Sugar wants those David Justice cards, but then he also says, don't give me anything that's not a rookie, so I suspect he doesn't want that David Justice, but if he does, he can let me know, and I'll stick it into his PC. That's kind of how it always works. If you hang around, if you actually part of the channel, you're active and hang out in Discord and participate, then when I see a card of something that I know that you might like, I'll just give it to you. Eddie Zoski, Tom Brunansky, Joe Granny. That's not Granny, but I didn't want to figure it out. Scott Cooper, Don Slott, Jim Eisenreich, Scott Livingstone, Randy Tomlin, Milt Kyler, Anthony Young, Eric Karros. Now that is not a Eric Karros rookie, is it? It might be. I gotta look into that. If that's an Eric Karros rookie, we're keeping that because he is a Rookie of the Year. Todd Zeal, we collect the Rookie of the Years. Just their rookies, and just one card. We decide which card from the Rookie of the Year. Oh, I like both the American League and the National League's Upper Deck that year. We'll do that. But Terry Brose, Joe Klink, Rick Sutcliffe, Brooke Jacoby, Brian Harper, Frank Castillo, Ellis Burks, Mark Whitten, Tim Naring, Dave Parker, Jack Clark, a lot of mid-carders here, Walt Terrell, Gary Reedus, Todd Benzinger, Orlando Merced, Lou Whitaker. He looks weird because he's a Tiger and he's always been a Tiger, but those are weird Tiger jerseys. I thought, he was on a different team for a second. Kevin Gross, John Franco, Mike Morgan, Bob Tewksbury, Jay Howell, Raphael Balliard, Mike Pagliarulo, G. Nelson, Mark Lee, Alan Anderson, Matt Young, Corey Snyder, and Tony Fossis. Now that's not the end. That's about halfway, guys. Right about halfway. So we're about halfway through. We got about that many cards left. I'm just gonna shift them up so it's easier to control. And we're gonna figure out where we switch. Oh, no, one card left. Well, then might as well just turn it this way. All right, we got Mo Vaughn. Definitely not. Well, it shows as it potentially is a rookie. Now I think Mo Vaughn has like a star rookie or something the year before, so that one probably isn't one. But we'll double check. George Brett is one of my guys. Put it down, but we're sleeving at the end, so I don't have to put it down each time. George Brett is one of my guys. Wade Boggs is one of my guys. Pat Combs, Jay Buhner, Ken Patterson, Dennis Rasmussen, Sammy Sosa is one of my guys. Bruce Hurst, Ozzie Guillen, Pat Kelly, Brian Harvey, Tim Burke, Mike Humphries, Lance Parrish. Apparently, there was a small middle section in the middle of that flip. Dwayne Henry, Darren Dalton, Shane Mack, Vaughn Hayes, Denny Nagal, Phil Plantier, Ken Griffey Jr. Now that is not only one of my guys, but like the Bo Jackson, that is every Griffey is gradable, and I also collect any of my guys that have the 3 image thing that Upper Deck does. So this is actually probably gonna be one of the top ones to go. Like if I need, I've explained in a previous video, but if I need to add to the cards going, that might be the first one that gets added. Paul Molitor, one of my guys, we're keeping that one. Kim Bastille, Carlos Cunha, Greg Hibbard, Jack Howell, Charlie Huff, Neil Heaton, Thomas Howard, Scott Sanderson, Wally Whitehurst, Donnie Hill, Gary Templeton, Greg Caderet, Mitch Williams, Mike Timlin, Randy Reddy, Greg Myers, Jason Grimsley, Mike Schuler, Jody Reed, Bill Kruger, Joe Boever, Omar Vizcael, Sean Abner, and Jeff Reardon. All right. One more mini stack left. Let's see what we got. Anything good? Starting off with checklist with Ken Griffey Jr.'s name on it. All right. Storm Davis, Dale Sven, Mike McFarland, Chuck Krim, Stid Breen, Ernest Rouse, Juan Behringer, Tom Foley, Marvin Freeman, Curtis Wilkerson, Paul Gibson, Steve Buchel, John Cerruti, Zane Smith, Scott Scudder, Roger McDowell, Brian Downing, John Candelaria, Les Lancaster, Bob Milacki, Julio Machado, Omar Olivares, Cal Eldred. Now, I think he is the American League Rookie of the Year to Eric Karras' National League of the Year League MVP. I could be, Rookie of the Year. I may be wrong. We'll have to look that up. Tom Gordon, Steve Avery. That's one of my guys. Actually, he's not one of my guys. I don't know why I said that. He is the one guy that does not make one guy on that rotation. I collect Maddox, Smoltz, Glavin. I do not collect Avery, although I do collect his rookie cards. So, Galarraga, Terry Steinbach, Kent Merker, Steve Chicherin, Skeeter Barnes, John Weiner, Lloyd Mosby, John Smiley, Travis Fryman. I collect his rookies, but not him. Dean Palmer, that was one of our chase guys. Paul O'Neill, here's a rookie. Jerome Walton, Monty Ferris, Tom Browning, Daryl Hamilton, Mark Gubizat, Jose De Leon, Harvey Pulliam, Robin Yount. That's one of my guys. Marquise Grissom, Keith Mitchell, Rusty Meacham, Bob Welsh, Otis Nixon, Dwayne Ward, Mickey Morandini, Mark Portugal, Tom Candiotti, and Chuck Knobloch. Chuck Knobloch, that might be a rookie, it might not. If it is a rookie, I'm keeping it. If it's not a rookie, it's going to Shano. Actually, if that is a rookie, then he's absolutely Rookie of the Year with Eric Karras, not Cal Eldred. We'll see how that plays out. All right, guys, that's all for this. So what we got the Griffey and the Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson's going in the box and may never actually go to PSA, depending on how long it takes to get to him in the box. The Griffey, however, will be going very, very soon. These cards coming out of here, they're early Upper Deck, so they all seem to be very well centered, very well taken care of. The box was not opened and touched before, so there's not a lot of bang and movement around. We have the 4 rookies we're going to look into to see if any of them are rookies, and we'll keep them if they are. The David Justice that I'll put to the side for just a... Actually, I'll put on top so I can find it if Sugar said, I want that David Justice. Or for that matter, if he wants any of the other cards, he just has to say it. Say, hey, give me that and that as well. And then we got a small section for my PC that are not gradable. Robin Yount, Paul Molitor, Sammy Sosa, Wade Boggs, George Brett, Roger Clemens, Eddie Murray, Tony Gwynn, Jeff Bagwell, and Carlton Fisk going to my PC. And then all of these cards, again, it's just a term of endearment or whatever, going to the trash. And the trash is over there and being sold for $1. All right, guys, thanks very much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this. We do these sorting cards for grading purposes a lot. Like I said, we've only been doing it for, I'm going to say a year. I don't know in how long. I should go back and see when our first video was posted. But we have over 100 videos, probably in the range of 105 to 110 of these videos alone. And this is just, I have to do it anyway. If people wanted to come in and talk to me while I'm doing it, if they wanted to say, hey, you missed that and that was a good card, it'd help out. And most importantly, I'm just being social. I like to do it. So if you don't like these videos, that's fine. There are other things on the channel you can watch that have more value to them, if anything, like cleaning of the PSA and sending those in, opening our PSA cards. What's in the Box Wednesday, where we're opening boxes and don't know what's in the box to sort. Those are much more, maybe more entertainment and more up your alley. So go check those out if you're not loving this. If you are, click the like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.